This is in support of a brand new initiative that will see the creation of a place for food right here in Stratford. For those of you who saw the play this afternoon, I hope you've had a chance to have a good stiff drink. I know it's very powerful and with some really moving performances. And I think it took a lot of courage for the Stratford Festival to put that play on this season. So I think they deserve a hand for it. Are still very relevant today, and they include a lot of the issues that the local community food center will be confronting, such as poverty, hunger, inequality, and social injustice. I would like for you all to put your hands together to thank the person responsible for bringing us this play, the director of the play, and the Stratford Shakespeare Festival artistic director, Antoni Cimolino. Bravo.
Thanks, Steve. And thank you very much for coming out for this incredibly worthy cause. When Nick and I met earlier this year, I was blown away by the mission and the work that's done by this organization, and thrilled that they're coming. There's a kind of authority to these classic plays which reminds us that people are people and they don't change, and sometimes bad things happen, and we should try to gain something from the knowledge of what's been passed on to us. So maybe, just maybe, we make things different. To invite people to go through lobbies that are filled with granite, to have a look at a play about the Depression, takes a certain trick, right? And we knew that we had to actually transcend all the wonderful things that happen, that you pass in a palace of art like this, where, you know, we are trying to, in having this granite, to tell people that art's important. But at the same time, we also, in a play like this, want to say to you, look, we are just people. And we want to show you something that is very close to ourselves. When we began the rehearsals, they weren't occupying Wall Street, but they seem to be doing that now, and a few other streets around the world today. And as we did research, we also tried to go beyond just the specific historical situation to look at poverty around the world in places like El Salvador, where we have a project that we're working on right now with young people there. So it's been a journey to work on this. It's been a journey of awakening, I think, for most of us as we've gone through it. It's a terrific way, as we're coming to the last few performances, to have an event like this, so we don't feel we're simply presenting a piece of work which disturbs, but a piece of work that also may have some answers in it, right? So I want to thank you very much for being here today, for being part of those answers. I wish the very best of luck to both the United Way and the campaign that our own Anita Gaffney is leading. Write big checks, give till it hurts. But also to Nick and all of the people who are setting up this food center here in Stratford. We need it, and we're very glad you're here. Thank you.
At this point, I'd like to call two more people up. I can tell you a little bit about the local community food center, though, about our dimensions of what the programs are we're going to be providing. We're going to open up our doors in winter 2012, and we're going to have community gardens, not in winter 2012, in spring. We're going to have community gardens, although we might have a greenhouse, which means maybe we will be planting vegetables in winter 2012. And we're going to have community gardens and greenhouses for planting and growing food. We're going to have a community kitchen where people can share and develop cooking skills and build community around cooking together. We're also going to serve drop-in meals to people in need at that resource. We're also going to have a food distribution center where we're going to be taking in large-scale donations of healthy food to redistribute out through the local area not-for-profits and food banks. So to make this happen, or how this has come about, it's been through a partnership, quite a remarkable partnership between an organization in Toronto called the Stop Community Food Center. I would like to take credit for the idea of bringing a community food center to Stratford, but it was not my idea. It was Nick Saul, the executive director of the Stop in Toronto, has done so well with what they do there. He was given encouragement and funding to replicate what they do there in localized ways across Canada. And we are so lucky to have been selected as the pilot site, the very first place to make that happen. So I'd like to call Nick Saul up, please, to say a few words. Ryan Merrick, the Executive Director of the United Way, also be up here. The United Way, we are a division of the United Way, and the United Way's campaign and fundraising efforts on our behalf are going to go towards supporting the food distribution center, things like transportation, things like cold storage, and a fund for purchasing fresh food. And so I think it's fitting that both of these gentlemen are up here together because they've created a fantastic partnership, and I think the sky's the limit from here. So thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot, Steve. I found that play today extraordinarily powerful. It was unrelentingly difficult, but also really hopeful as well. And I was very moved by it. I have worked for 20 years with low-income community members in Toronto. And one of the things I've learned along the way is that no one wants to be poor. And you might think that that's fairly self-evident. But I've also grown up in a time when many people who are poor are blamed for their poverty. And so poverty is about poor budgeting, or poverty is about a lifestyle choice or a character flaw. And I'll tell you right now, there is no life or style. And when we started to move away from just pure food banking, we wanted to do a couple things. We wanted to say that walking through a door and saying I need help with food should never stigmatize you, make you feel smaller as a human being. And we wanted to create a place where people could bring agency, where they could be cooks and gardeners and engaged citizens and healthy eaters and be part of creating change and identifying the problems in their community and collectively responding to those things. And I think we've built a model that focuses on dignified access to food. There is nothing more powerful than a beautiful meal that's cooked with love and eaten with others, I'll tell you. It's the way good change happens. And we are trying, because people were interested, and I think we had a good story to tell, to take that model of dignified access, programming like cooking and gardening that Steve talked about, and always an unrelenting push to talk about the larger structural issues that drive vulnerability in our communities. And we've tried to create a special sauce around that and take it abroad, to actually take that across the country. And we are so, so proud to have been welcomed the way we have been by the Stratford community. It is a food town, my friends. It's unbelievable, and we are thrilled to be here. But there are also some problems. And the Perth County Food Security Coalition did a lot of work in this community, and we're just building on some of the capacity that they already have. And we found a great partner. And we just finally say, Steve, you are unbelievable. You are a whirling dervish, my man. This guy is the first director. Of the local community food center, and boy, we are lucky to have him.
Not so long ago, I heard someone comment that it's surprising that in this bountiful area called Perth County that we can have food insecurity. Sometimes it blows my mind that we can be in a restaurant in downtown Stratford and imagine that there's someone hungry only a couple of doors away. Is that challenging for you? There are people in our community that are struggling with issues related to food. There are people that are struggling with all kinds of things that the United Way is involved in, and this is just one. And so, with great thanks to all the volunteers who have gotten us here today, the United Way and Stop, we're so proud. We're so proud that we are ready to launch this new organization, the Local Community Food Center. And we are so excited, as already been said, that Steve is in charge. He's doing a great job. And what we're looking for is continued support. Please continue to get your friends involved in what could be one of the best things that's ever happened to Stratford and Perth County. And so thank you for joining us here today.